Welcome back to botany class. Last video we discussed about the property of genetic material. That is a DNA versus RNA. Then we discussed about RNA world, and then we discussed about the different scheme of DNA replication, right? So in this video we are going to discuss the experimental proof for DNA replication is semi-conservative one. For semi-conservative mode of replication, here we are going to see one experimental proof. Actually, James Watson and Francis Crick, they proposed a scheme for DNA replication. So after proposing the double helix, nothing but double stranded DNA structure of double helical structure of DNA molecule. Actually, what they are saying is that the scheme suggests that the scheme proposed with James Watson and Francis Crick suggests that two strands would separate and act as a template for synthesis of new complementary strand. Okay, see, as per semi-conservative mode, double stranded DNA. So here there are two strands are there, and two strands separate act as a template. Okay, see, one strand is, if it is 3' to 5', another strand is 5' to 3'. So both will separate before DNA replication. Only the single stranded DNA act as a template, right? Single stranded DNA act as a template, and this strand, both strand act as a template and produces and synthesis new complementary strand. After completion of DNA replication in cells, each DNA molecule would have one parental and one newly synthesized strand. That is given by semi-conservative mode of DNA replication proposed. Okay, like two daughter DNAs are there, two daughter DNA molecule. So in that, one strand is parental one, another one is newly synthesized. In this also, one is parental, another one is newly synthesized. So that is a suggestion given by the semi-conservative mode of replication proposed by James Watson and Francis Crick. So that scheme, whatever they proposed, the scheme we can say is a semi-conservative DNA replication. Okay. And the experimental proof for semi-conservative, because the different scientists, they proposed a different scheme for replication, but the most accepted model is the semi-conservative mode of DNA replication proposed by James Watson and Francis Crick. And the experimental proof for that one given by Matthew Michelson and Franklin Stahl. So Franklin Stahl, they conducted an experiment and they provided proof that DNA replication is semi-conservative one. We will see what experiment they conducted and how they concluded that and the DNA replication is semi-conservative one. So who conducted this experiment? Matthew Michelson and Franklin Stahl. So when they conducted in 1958, they conducted this experiment. For this experiment, what they used now? They used E. coli bacteria. By using E. coli bacteria, they proved that DNA replication is semi-conservative one. And also they used the normal and heavy isotopic form of nitrogen also for that experiment. So as the medium containing normal nitrogen and also isotopic form nitrogen also. They used N15 and also N14, whatever medium they used to grow this E. coli organism, they supplemented with either N14 or N15. So N15 is, it's a isotopic form. N14 is normal nitrogen. So this is a heavy nitrogen. So N15 is heavy nitrogen form and this one is normal. So lightweight. So nitrogen is lightweight. For this experiment, they conducted experiment E. coli. For growing E. coli, they used media which contain different sources of nitrogen. So one media contain, so the N15, the heavy isotopic nitrogen as a medium. So another medium contain the normal lightweight nitrogen N14 as a nitrogen source. By using that, they conducted this experiment, right? So N14 and N15. N14 is isotopic, so the heavy isotope of nitrogen, and N14 is normal, it's a light and normal nitrogen, lightweight and normal nitrogen. By using that one, they conducted this experiment. And also for this experiment, they used cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation. Cesium chloride and density gradient centrifugation. What is that? Density gradient centrifugation. Cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation. What is that cesium chloride density gradient? Centrifugation, nothing but that's one of the technique used to separate the molecules or substances based on their size or weight. But cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation is, it's the dense solution of cesium chloride. So cesium chloride is a dense solution, CSCl. It's a dense solution. So this dense solution of this cesium chloride on centrifugation they form density gradient band of the solution. So they form because the molecule form, so depends on density they form different bands. Actually the low density form at the top and the higher density or the heavy density will form at the bottom, like a low density at the top, then gradually it increases towards the bottom with higher density. That centrifugation name is called cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation. For this experiment, they used the cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation also. Okay, we will see what they did and how they conducted and how they provided experiment. Are you clear with this? What organism they used for this experiment? E. coli. And they used two different type of nitrogen medium, medium with source of nitrogen. One is a N15, another one is a N14. N15 is heavy isotope of nitrogen and N14 is light and normal nitrogenic form. And also they used cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation for them for their experiment, right? We will see the experiment now. The experiment conducted by Michelson and Stahl. The experiment also called as Michelson and Stahl experiment also, because the experimental proof is given by conducted by Matthew Michelson and Franklin Stahl, also called as Michelson-Stahl experiment. Are you clear with this? Now we will see the experiment. We will see first what they did is they grow E. coli. So grow is E. coli. They have taken E. coli organism. They grow this E. coli in medium. So just they have taken the media, prepared media. So this medium contain, so N15 as the nitrogen source. So N15 what they did is ammonium chloride they have taken. So NH4Cl. So the medium is incorporated with heavy isotope form of nitrogen. So this ammonium chloride N15 as a source of nitrogen, and they have grown this E. coli bacteria on this media for several generations. When we are growing this E. coli for several generations, what will happen is nitrogen N15 is the only source of nitrogen. So that when the organism will divide, when they are synthesizing DNA, and also not only DNA and as well as other nitrogen containing compound, whatever synthesis, so that time the E. coli organism they uses N15 as a nitrogen source. So that the heavy DNA molecule, okay, is easily the uses, okay, that N15 is incorporated into the not only DNA, all nitrogenous compound. And after several generations, the isolated DNA from these particular cells and they subjected to the cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation. So cesium chloride density gradient, they got only one band of DNA at the bottom of the tube. So what will happen is, when we are growing for several generations, this E. coli, they will multiply. For example, you see here the E. coli cells are there, but during synthesis of DNA, because nitrogen is one of the essential atoms present in this DNA molecule. So synthesis of DNA, they uses this N15 from the medium, so that the N15, the heavy isotopic form of nitrogen, is incorporated into the both strands of this DNA molecule, right? Both strands contain N50 and also N50, right? So when the DNA isolated from these particular cells, so subjected for cesium chloride centrifugation, it forms only one single band at near the bottom of the tube. Okay, like that we got. So you see here from this isolated, I will put here. So both strands contain only N50, right? N50, N50, not here, both strands. And then what will happen is, then they transfer these cells from N15 media. Then they transferred into media which contain normal nitrogen. From N15 media, they transfer to medium. So the DNA actually, so normal nitrogenic form. The media with contain N14. So here N14 is there, right? And they allowed this E. coli. They transfer this E. coli. The E. coli is grown from here, N15. E. coli has grown. And allowed they allowed the E. coli to complete their generation 1. We know that every 20 minutes one time, the one E. coli cells, they can divide and form new daughter cells. The generation time for E. coli cells are 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Exactly after 20 minutes, after completion of 20 minutes, now you see, first for several generation on N15 media, now the bacterial cells from N15 media transfer to media which contain N40, the normal form of nitrogen, N40. And the E. coli cells are allowed to complete the generation 1. Exactly after 20 minutes, the isolated DNA from these particular cells, from the isolated DNA from that cells, and the isolated DNAs are subjected to cesium chloride density centrifugation. They got only one single band, but single band also not at the bottom, not at the top also. Somewhat intermediate band we got. You see here near bottom, here somewhat above the bottom level we got. So when we will get, you see both strands, they will act as a template from this N15. And a newly synthesis strand only N14 is incorporated, right? N14. For synthesis of new strand, they uses N14. The parental strands contain N15. Newly synthesis strand N14 is there. Like this one is N14. This one is N15. This one is N14. And this one is N50, like if you take like this. And then the bacteria again allowed. Okay, you see first 20 minutes completed. No, here 20 minutes is over. 20 minutes only we are isolating DNA, and the DNA is subjected for cesium chloride density gradient. Again, same media, they allowed to complete second generation. So this is the first generation, right? First generation and second generation. Second generation exactly after 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, the isolated DNA and the DNA is subjected to the cesium chloride density gradient centrifugation. But here they got, so one band here, the same like in previous first generation, and up at top level he got another band. You see here there are 4 strands are there. This 4 strand unbind like this. 4 strand unwind like this, and all 4 strands they act as a template. So again this. So out of 2 molecules, each molecule contains one strand is heavy strand, another one is a light strand. So this 4 strand they will unwind like this, and they act as a template, right? Act as a template, and the synthesis new strand. New strand. But here for newly synthesized strand, what media they will use? Only N14, right? You see, out of 4 molecules, so these 2 molecules, one strand is N14, another one is N15. But here both are N14. But here one is N14, N15. Here both are so N14. Here this DNA molecule is heavyweight. Heavyweight. But this one is intermediate. It's a hybrid. Hybrid. But here we got hybrid, and also this one is a hybrid, and these 2 strands are lightweight. Right? Here the DNA is a heavyweight because N15 is incorporated in both strands of the DNA. But here N15, one strand is contained N15, one strand is contained N14. So intermediate between heavy and light. So that we are saying that hybrid DNA strand. But here this both strand acting as template, so that 4 molecules we are getting. But in that 4 molecule, 2 molecules are so hybrid, and 2 molecules are with both strands are lightweight DNA. So the generation 2 like this, and the DNA was extracted from first generation, second generation, and third generation like this. So what will happen is, if goes like this, after 40 minutes, the composed of hybrid DNA 2 and 2 lightweight DNA. So the amount of light DNA is increasing, keep on increasing, go generation. The amount of hybrid DNA can be possible, okay, because why we are getting the amount of hybrid DNA keep on decreasing now? Why the amount of lightweight here is increasing now? Because of due to semi-conservative mode of DNA replication. You see, if it is not semi-conservative here, if it is conservative, how we will get here? One strand is there, we will get one is completely parental, heavyweight, another one lightweight will get. So when we will get hybrid and lightweight, why the lightweight keep on increasing? The hybrid here reduced now because of due to semi-conservative mode of DNA replication. That is the reason. So it's a keep on, it's a reducing like this. Okay. So are you clear with this? So next one, another scientist, Taylor et al. Taylor et al. Taylor et al. Meaning is the co-workers. So Taylor and co-worker, they proved semi-conservative mode of chromosomal replication. The semi-conservative mode of chromosomal replication chromosomal replication So they proved semi-conservative mode of chromosomal replication in eukaryotes. Eukaryotes using triated thymidine. In a eukaryote using triated thymidine. So the triated thymidine, H3 thymidine. So in eukaryote, they proved semi-conservative mode of chromosomal replication. So in eukaryote, which organism they used? Mostly the root of Vicia faba. Faba beans. It's a very important one. So Taylor et al. They have proved semi-consecutive mode of chromosomal replication using tri-tiated thymidine H3 thymidine in the root of Vicia faba. It's a faba beans. From them they confirm the semi-consecutive mode of DNA replication, right? So I hope that you understood the experimental flow, the experiment conducted by Michelson and Stahl. Now we will see one problem related with it. So from this part they will ask a problem based question. We will see one problem related with this Michelson-Stahl experiment, right? So just I will dictate the questions, you can easy. If hybrid DNA is allowed to replicate for one generation in media contain N14. So here hybrid DNA they are given, hybrid DNA. What they are saying is hybrid means what? Both strands contain N15, right? Both strands contain N15. Sorry, hybrid DNA, no. So now out of two strands, one strand is N14, another strand is N15, right? This one is N15 and this one is N14, right? I'll read the question one more time. If hybrid DNA, this is a hybrid DNA, is allowed to replicate for one generation in media which contain N14, media contain N14. First where we are growing, so this particular cells, the E. coli with hybrid DNA. Here E. coli cells are there, these E. coli cells contain hybrid DNA. So these E. coli cells allowed to complete the first generation, right? First generation, exactly 20 minutes. 20 minutes. In media, the media what is there? The media contain N14 as a nitrogen source, right? N14 as a nitrogen source. And for second generation, media contain N15. So N14 is completing. And second generation from this N14 media, the E. coli cells are transferred to second generation. Sorry. Next from here they are transferred and allowed to complete second generation. Second generation in N15 medium. 15 medium, N15 medium. Then what is the proportion of light, heavy and hybrid DNA? So after completing second generation here, we are asking what is the proportion of heavy, hybrid, light DNA molecule they are asking. This is a question, right? I'll read the question one more time. If hybrid DNA is allowed to replicate for one generation in media containing N14 and for second generation in media containing N15, then what is the proportion of light, heavy and hybrid DNA obtained? They are asking, right? You see here. So first generation is N14, hybrid DNA. Hybrid DNA here we are growing in N14 media. They are completing side. Here you see these two strands separate like this. Two strands separate. For newly synthesis strand what will be there? Only N15, right? So N15, right? So this one is N14. This one is N15. These both are N14 alone. Both are. Next how we will get? Next, these cells are transferred to N15 medium, right? N15 medium, and these both two molecules which form four template like this. And least this one is heavy DNA, N15, right? So here you see one molecule, both are N15, N15. Here this one is one in this, all this one strand is N14 and another strand is N15. So these three molecules are hybrid and this one molecule is heavyweight DNA. What is the question asking? After second generation, what is the proportion of light, heavy and hybrid DNA? How much out of 4 molecule, how much percentage we got heavy? Heavy is, here heavyweight is, we got for 25%, right? 25%. But hybrid one, how much we got? 75%. But lightweight is 0%. We are not getting any lightweight. So both strand contain N14, right? So in this experiment, okay, you see here, the hybrid DNA is allowed to replicate in for one generation media containing N14 and allowed for complete their second generation media containing N15. What is the proportion of heavy, hybrid, lightweight they are asking? So this is a hybrid. First generation N14, we will get 2 molecules. If they both, they will unwind, they will act as a template, and we will get like 2. One is a hybrid one, this one is a hybrid one. So this one is hybrid, this one is completely lightweight, right? Lightweight. But when we are transferring from N14 to N15, then you can see here these 4 will unwind. One template, 4 template, and newly synthesis strand is all are N15. Then we will get like this: 1 heavyweight DNA and 3 molecules are hybrid, but no lightweight. The percentage of heavyweight here we are getting 25%. Hybrid is 75%, lightweight is 0%. I hope that you understood this problem. Up to this I will end up this video, and remaining topic will continue in next video. Thank you.